What up, world? I uh I got this new Wale album, the album about nothing. You knew this was coming, especially if you watched my reviews from last weekend. That Kendrick Lamar and that Action Bronson, both of them are on my channel. So you got Wale, his fourth album, the album about nothing. He teased this shit at the very end of The Gifted. He had Jerry Seinfeld on the very end of The Gifted. And he been promoting this shit for like a year and a half, prepping this shit, getting this shit ready for a year and a half. And I would say I've been a Wale fan since like 2008. I think summer 2008. I was riding from Nat with my wife and my siblings to Kings Island in Ohio, and I was putting them on the album about nothing. I had just discovered the shit, and it's based on one of my favorite TV shows of all time, man, Seinfeld. He took clips and audio bites from the show and built songs around them motherfuckers. And it's one of my favorite mixtapes of all time, man. Up there with Dedication 2 and Friday Night Lights. As far as features, he got J. Cole, he got Usher, he got Jeremiah, and he got Jerry Seinfeld, not necessarily rapping, but just discussions it sounds like they had. I want to say he released The Matrimony and The Body as singles, and then I don't know why, but I feel like I've heard The Girls on Drugs before. Maybe it was on that Festivus mixtape that came out a couple months ago. And then one thing that is real dope about this album, every single song title starts with the intro about nothing, the helium balloon, the God smile, the glass egg, the bloom, ambitious girl 3. Just like every single episode of Seinfeld starts with the something except one. One episode in season 1 didn't have the in front of the name. So I thought that was real dope, real in detail, you know what I'm saying, real in with the show. Elaine from the show was on the mixtape, so it's cool that he got Jerry on this, that him and Seinfeld got real like in depth with each other, got to know each other and put this album together. Basically it's like a collaboration album with Wale and Seinfeld. And it would have been cool if he could have got George and Kramer in here too, man. Michael Richards and Jason Alexander. And there are, I would say, 3, maybe 4 tracks that incorporate pieces of the show. I wanted more, like the mixtape, honestly. Attention Deficit came out in 2009, and I loved Attention Deficit, man. It was one of my favorite albums of the year. And it had features from Cole, from Blunt B. It was real. It was what I wanted to hear from Wale after hearing the mixtape about nothing and Back to the Feature. And I still think he should do Back to the Feature 2 and Back to the Feature Part 3. That's just me though. And I mean, he talks about like club life, fucking with bitches, having money, the usual typical rapper things that I really don't like hearing rappers talk about. But then you hear him talk about personal shit, like a chick he was messing with had a miscarriage or something like that. I feel a little fucked up talking about it on camera. That's about to go on the internet. But I mean, he put it on wax for the world. It's part of the album, so I'm gonna touch on it. And shit like that is what you want to hear from a rapper, like personal, deep shit, history in their life that goes on. You know what I'm saying? Especially in between The Gifted that come out 2 years ago, the album about nothing that come out this year, which. Speaking of nothing, the Nothing series, the mixtape about nothing, more about nothing, the album about nothing, Seinfeld was nicknamed the show about nothing, and Wale lately, especially in interviews, Instagrams, Twitters, whatever he's talking, whatever outlet Wale has, he says Seinfeld was the show about nothing, which in turn made it about everything. And I do feel like Wale does touch a little bit on everything on this album. I wanted more of the mixtape about nothing, to where he would take parts of the show and turn that into a song instead of just like the white shoes, the helium balloon, or like I feel like they're discussions that Seinfeld and Wale had in the studio or whatever, and then he built songs around that. It's entertaining, and I feel like they're all good songs. but I wanted more of what I got from the mixtape About Nothing. So I'm let down in that aspect, and I don't feel like it's as lyrically dope as it could be. Like, I feel like one really dope aspect of the album About Nothing is it has no MMG features, no Rick Ross, which is surprising as fuck. No Meek Mill, no Staley, no Omarion. He could have easily got Staley instead of J. Cole, Omarion instead of Usher, and kept the whole album MMG. But it's real dope that he reached out. That's a plus. A takeaway for me, aside from the lyrics and aside from how the album was crafted, is the pessimist, the J. Cole track. I really wanted to hear J. Cole spit at 16, because some of my favorite songs between J. Cole, between Wale, are the songs they work together on. Um, Beautiful Bliss from Attention Deficit. The track from Friday Night Lights. Off top of my head, it's just not coming to me. But if you've heard Friday Night Lights, track number 5, you know which one I'm talking about. In closing, man, in my opinion, I really hate to say this, man. In my opinion, the album About Nothing is straight. It has so much more potential to be an all time classic. Um, but at the same time, I feel like it's Wale's best effort on MMG. I think it's better than Ambition, and I think it's better than The Gifted, because he got away from getting the marquee radio features, and he got away from feeling obligated to put label mates on there. But Attention Deficit is still my favorite Wale album, and it's a shame because Attention Deficit didn't sell. Interscope dropped him, and while he might still be kicking the same message, he's doing it like, I don't know, like it has a different vibe. His Maybach albums have a way different vibe than his first album. I feel like if he went back to the sound and the way he put together Attention Deficit on this label, it would sell a lot more. It would sound way better, and I would love it personally. And how do you feel about the show Seinfeld? What was some of your likes and dislikes about this album? And like I said, look for my Kendrick and Action Bronson reviews. They're already posted, and my Ludaversal review will be coming shortly, man. Peace.